We
But
love hip hop.
now we can get into this news.
Okay, what do you got?
One thing I didn't bring up last week, or for a few weeks, that guy Dee-1. The one
Yeah, Dee-1, who's been coming at Rick Ross.
and Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll play the original clip of him, what he was originally saying that got under people's skin.
Yeah.
But now, just to let y'all know, his new target is Joe Budden.
Oh.
Okay. And just to give you all a quick context,
he's reaching, man.
Yeah, because Joe commented on what he was doing with his whole back and forth that he's been having with Jim Jones and Rick Ross.
Yeah.
And now from when Joe made his comments, he's like, oh, you want to talk? So now he's the new target. So here's what he originally said.
Jim Jones, you could do better, brother. I love you too much. I love you too much to not be honest with you. Rick Ross, you could do better, brother. Meek Mill, you could do better, brother. I love you too much not to be honest with you. Are you the face of prison reform? Cause are you the face of prison reform? Or are you sitting here on your new song with Ross talking about getting somebody murked and shot at the red light?
We love
Which one is it, bro? Which one is it, bro? Cause I did a shoe giveaway in my city and gave out 1,300 pairs of your shoes because they said reform underneath them. And I love that you partnered with a major shoe company.
His shoe said reform underneath them.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, these guys are really pushing that, eh?
Company and you out here pushing prison reform. But now I got to sit here like, man, this man glorifying getting people killed as of a week ago. Like, what are you doing, bro? Lil Snoop really got killed. That broke your heart. You wear him around your neck. Why are you glorifying the same thing when my best friend got killed?
Okay, so this is what he originally said, right? And I'll play a little bit of what Joe Budden had said about him.
Yeah.
Right after this ad. Boom. There we go.
Love his message. I just don't like how he did it.
Why?
I just think that he can get that message out without naming a name.
I mean, in his defense, I think goes out. Yeah, in his defense, I don't think we'd be up here talking about it if he didn't name a name.
All right, I'll roll with Parks. Two things could be true. I still think it's clout chasing.
And it worked.
And
We're talking about it.
And I hate them things where, again, I come up here every other week and be like, yo, who are these people? I don't know him. I'm not trying to slight him. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, you get qualified first. Tell us who you are.
Okay, so that's what Joe Budden had to say to him.
Yeah.
Now, before I even play what he had to say, what are y'all's thoughts on what Dee-1 had to say about Jim Jones and all of that in the first place? Like, is he right?
In retrospective, yeah, he is. Because you could be pushing a different narrative that is actually, you know what I mean? What comes from hip hop originally.
Yeah.
It was more of a rebellious thing, you know what I mean? Revolutionary kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? Now they in order to sell a record, you gotta project genocide, right? So he's trying to show you, like, why can't we make records where we could teach these kids again?
Yeah.
Right? Even if it's how to duck cops. At least it's a record on how to duck the cops. And, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in a more intellectual way. You know what I'm saying? Instead of every spliff you smoke is somebody in it. You know what I'm saying?
But,
right? So that's what he's coming across with. So
which is respectful.
Yeah, because you gotta in order for things to change and for us to own it again, we gotta direct it where they can't handle the trajectory the narrative they're pushing.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta actually fight against it where it works. Where then maybe you'll see a bunch like 800K kids want to hear more positive music again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
You have to convince the masses at that point.
Yeah, you have to really put it in their face, but you got to do that.
But okay, just a little bit of pushback.
Yeah.
When was the positive time that we're talking about? Are we talking about early 90s, self-destruction, native tongues time, or are we talking about post that, like with the West Coast and all those different people that started coming through, like Dr. Dre and all these people? Because I remember hip-hop never not having violence in it.
Well, you got to understand, there was more of a bravado on how how like Rakim, or you know what I'm saying, like even Eric Sermon or some, you know what I mean, EPMD, how they would be like, "Yo,
yes, Diamond Club in the building,
Diamond," right? We like that, how you project it, right? Like what message you were putting across to the kids, right?
Yeah.
When you had even records like "F the Police," You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Those are monumental records because there was a rebelliousness, there was a revolutionary kind of thing going on, right?
Right.
Public Enemy, right? Like they were talking about, you know what I mean, beating up on, sorry to say, but like
on the police and
on
stuff.
the police and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is the message where you would rather that be the message than me killing another person that look like you.
But y'all don't remember this, and you might not be able to hear it in the that much clearer, but B3, but.
One gun, two gun, three gun, four. Your mind is all about crime. Honest.
Yeah, that's Otto.
Right?
That's lyrics.
The song is called "Throw Your Guns."
Exactly, but it's what sold as the title. It doesn't necessarily mean everything they were spitting about was really putting your thing in the air and beating it off, right?
Fam, they had guns in the video.
Yeah, but they were.
They had. That's the first time I seen a Uzi.
Okay,
was in a hip hop music video.
I won't lie, it does go down like that. Like the music before was a little bit more in your face. You know what I mean? Like let's talk about sex, and you know what I'm saying? Like it was there, right? But it's there was more of an artistic side to it where you appreciate the records then than per se if one of these Dinkleberries come up now and all they're gonna be is like, yeah, on your bitch, fuck on the bitch, fuck on the bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, how monumental is that? Then maybe on when you were hearing let's talk about sex, they were talking about protection, you know what I mean? How to like do it, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Okay, but let's keep it in the hip hop violence, because that's what D1's main issue is, right? When we go back in hip hop history, and I'm not talking about the Rakim times, like I'm talking about post times, like post that time, because there was a time when being a gangster in hip hop or keeping it real became a thing, fam. And if you weren't hard, like people weren't jacking you, bro.
Yeah, but them times that it wasn't really the street nigga didn't want to be seen on cam. So he was funding the dude that went to school, or you know what I mean? He was just like from the same projects.
So you're saying that the rappers themselves weren't gangsters?
Yeah, they were not gangsters. They were around the gangsters. It's just where it flipped now, where the street nigga was like, yo, I think I could do this too. And then boom. That's where like the young Jeezys popped up. And you know what I'm saying? The Master P's and all types of, you know what I'm saying? Real niggas. So that's where the switch came. But then after they didn't own it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what now the consumers and the distributors wanted to sell. They wanted us to do genocide. So that's where they knew they could kill it too. That's where it's like, it's different when it was back in the day, because it really reflected on where we were living, what they were living through, what they were going through, right? So it's a little bit complicated, man, from then till now, in a day and age where like you could get canceled for something you say.
Yeah.
Back then they didn't have cancel culture yet.
Well, the internet wasn't even that popular.
Exactly. Like that. You have to wait for that video to come up on Rap City or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna play what D1 had to say as far as a response to what was going on here.
For the first.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Because eventually, like, D1 caught wind of what Joe was saying.
Yeah.
And this is not the first response. Jim Jones responded to him. He went up on Sway's show, same way how Homie was on.
Same way.
And he was like, yo, bro, like, you got to stop talking on me, fam.
Kid Smooth in here, right? So whatever you say.
Two things could be true. I still think
in his defense, I don't think we'd be.
This is Ching Smooth that I'm catching this thing from here.
Two things can be true at the same
industry.
So he's gonna read out basically what Homie said.
Joe Budden, brother, you just gave the traditional music industry response. You didn't understand that I'm in the industry, but not of it. Man, you literally speak your opinion on other people all the time, but I can't talk about lyrical content. What qualifies you? If you haven't heard of someone, they're automatically not qualified to speak on certain topics. It's refreshing that everyone on your show felt where I was coming from. Big shout out to Ish for speaking up. That means a lot, bro. And shout out to Melissa Ford, Ice, and Parks as well for understanding my why. And shout out to Joe for covering the topic. Difficult problems are solved through difficult conversations. Now,
okay, so basically, because Joe was saying, who are you? Why do you even have why are you even qualified to speak on the culture?
Oh,
right. But he's saying he's somebody, and you don't need to have like a certain name to be able to give critique on what you think about the culture.
But your critique, if you're someone in the culture that holds weight,
it's more impactful.
Yeah.
So if it starts with Joe Budden, it starts with us painting the narrative of better quality music coming through and us representing what, you know what I mean? Us putting it out there like, yo, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where it counts, bro. It starts with us first. I'm saying like it all starts with it starts with the bloggers. It starts with the podcasters. It starts with the media. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if they're painting the picture like, oh, yo, this guy just caught 10 bodies and he's on the run, and now he's the best rapper in Florida, or he's the best rapper in, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't. It's always just gonna be that. So that's what we're gonna get used to, and then that's what we're gonna expect. You know what I mean? And then the consumer has nothing else to go to because that's all that's being pushed in their face. They're not gonna see a guy like Dee-1.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think what people have misconstrued these days and we kind of helped to do this over the years, like our generation, they mixed up being the realist with being the best. So if you're the realist, like if you really caught the bodies that you say that you're catching in these raps and, you know, your ops are down on the score and all that means you're the best rapper.
Yeah.
Rather than like, how good do you sound compared to even your ops?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not if your music's better, like, are you actually winning the war against your ops? And that makes you the better rapper.
But becomes more of a competition at that point when they do it that way. It's like who got more bodies,
exactly.
The more they got, the better they are as artists.
How many
times? It's not the case.
How many times have me and you spoke behind cameras where I'm like, yo, no, we should actually give this one a chance, right? But then we have certain rules and stipulations, so it's like it may be a good song, it may be a great video, but it only got like certain amount or something like that, right?
1,000 views.
But then I'm there like, yo, it takes us to then put it out there so more people could see it.
Yeah.
Right? We got to break records again that are more positive. So it starts with us. You know what I'm saying? You got to break records that maybe nobody knows about in our city or wherever you are. And then boom, maybe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just help somebody. Right? For a message that could be positive that they want to get across.
Yeah.
And they would never get it across if they get jumbled into like, you know what I'm saying? Like the fuckery, the polys, you know what I'm saying? They're never going to get noticed.
Yeah.
So it starts with the bloggers, it starts with the podcasters, it starts with the media guys.
Technically, I guess you're right too, because these days the tastemakers don't come from the DJs anymore, right?
Nope.
Like it used to be the DJ is the one who's going to break the record and let everybody hear it for the first time. But now you might hear the record the first time on Kai Cenat's stream.
Exactly.
Or Academics' stream.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Well, salute to Dee-1. Salute to Joe Budden and, everybody else who he's dissed. You know what I mean? But Dee-1, he's out here, fam. He's trying to make himself a major figure, a major factor. You know what I mean? And hey, I ain't mad at him.
We love hip hop.